Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 5. So throughout this season of all the DC TV shows, obviously consisting of The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and of course Arrow, I personally think Prometheus has been the most intriguing villain. Not necessarily the most interesting, as he has been absent for portions of the season, but definitely the most intriguing villain of the Arrowverse. If I had to pick the most interesting villain, that would definitely have to go to the lads from the Legion of Doom. Eobard Thawne and co have been tearing it up this season on Legends. But back to Prometheus, as I said, he is the most intriguing villain as we don't really know too much about him, and there are less than 10 episodes to go this season, which gets me extremely pumped, as this means there will be lots of drops of information left, right and center in these, upcoming episodes. One thing that I think we will definitely be witnessing, hopefully soon, but definitely over these last several episodes or so, is the death of a major character, or possibly more than one death by the hands or weaponry of Prometheus. Already this season we have seen Prometheus kill Tobias Church, as well as some other random characters tied to the list from season 1, but no one of any real huge importance. So who is on the chopping block then? Who is at risk of being murdered by the supposed child of Justin Claiborne? That's what we will be going over for the remainder of this video, but be sure to let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my choices, and if I left anyone out of the video that you think is a chance of meeting their end in this season of Arrow, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're doing that, if you do want to leave a like on the video just to show your support, it would be very much appreciated as well. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Just to remind you, I could have listed more characters than I am about to, but I only wanted to list characters that I think could actually be killed by Prometheus. So heads up, I don't mention Felicity, Diggle or Ollie, just a heads up. So first up we have Thea Queen. Now honestly, Thea really wasn't on my list or potential targets of Prometheus until the most recent episode. In that episode, Oliver compares Thea's actions in the episode to something that their mother, Moira, would herself do. Now this is something that these shows tend to do, lines like this can allude to a character's future through comparison. And what happened to Moira Queen? Well, she was sort of stabbed through the heart by Slade Wilson's sword. The same could happen to Thea, but obviously from Prometheus. But if this was to happen, Thea may get more screen time and story leading up to it, so if that starts to happen in the next couple of episodes or leading up to the end of the season, definitely, if you're a Thea fan, start getting worried. Next up is Adrian Chase. Now this is going off if Adrian is actually Vigilante, which he should end up being. Prometheus and Vigilante will come face to face in this week's episode when Vigilante gets a bit too close to Oliver Queen. Obviously, Prometheus could just, kill Vigilante this episode, but I think if he was to die, it would come later on, as I can see Vigilante helping out Team Arrow in the takedown of Prometheus. And in doing so, he may meet his end. But as I said, this is all based around if Adrian Chase is actually Vigilante, where they're sort of trying to confuse you on the show at the moment, so I guess we might find out this week if, they take off his mask or something like that. But I don't see Vigilante stretching out into next season of Arrow, so I think he might be one of the pawns that gets knocked over in the game of taking down Prometheus. Next we have Wild Dog. Now Rene Ramirez, or Wild Dog, has been the comeback character throughout this season. At the beginning of the season, he wasn't the most popular character. A lot of people didn't really like him too much. I didn't mind him, I thought he was decent. But at this point in the season, most viewers seem to enjoy him. But will he make it to the end of the season? Wild Dog has a tendency to put himself in danger to protect others, as well as not really thinking things through. So you could imagine him making a run at Prometheus and not coming out the winner in that battle. He could also do the same thing in another scenario and meet his end that way. But personally, I wouldn't mind seeing more from him come next season, or just keeping him alive in the universe, even if he decides to leave the team at the end of the season. The next choice we have is Ragman. Now a few episodes back in episode 12, we saw Ragman use his rags to prevent a nuclear bomb from causing any damage, which then led to him leaving Team Arrow due to his rags now appearing broken and useless. So does that mean he is gone for good? Of course not. They already announced a tiny bit before that episode aired, I think it was maybe a day or two or something, that we would actually be returning to Haven Rock later on in this season of Arrow. Which you would have to assume is where we will meet up again with Ragman, or possibly just before the return to Haven Rock. But would Ragman return just to die? maybe it's definitely a possibility, as I don't see Ragman having too much of a future on Arrow. Like, he is pretty overpowered. So if they did need a person of like his power to die to show the strength of Prometheus, then they might do so. I have heard a lot of people saying, oh, he could go to Legends, but even if he went to Legends, I think they would struggle to incorporate him really well. So I think it's either he just leaves the universe as a whole and just goes and works at a laundromat, I don't know, something like that, or he actually dies. One quick notable mention here due to the fact that she has been absent for so long, and that is Artemis. I do have a feeling Prometheus will just kill her. Like, I've been saying that for a while, and you would know that if you've been watching my videos. But seeing that most people have probably forgotten about her, I'm not really counting her as a choice in this video. But yeah, whenever she decides to pop up again, I think she might meet her end pretty quickly. And finally, we have Susan Williams, the reporter. Now, as we saw in the previous episode, Oliver Queen has been caught up in the scandal around the cover-up of Billy Malone's death. This is pretty much Prometheus's doing, as he wants to tear Ollie's life down from around him. But as we know, Susan basically knows that Ollie is the Green Arrow, and over the next handful of episodes, we will most likely see her use this knowledge against him, and most likely blackmail him, which could actually be the catalyst for her death via Prometheus. If Susan keeps pushing and pushing Ollie's secret, and it gets to the point where some bad people know that Ollie is actually the Green Arrow, Prometheus will most likely have no choice but to intervene, kill those bad dudes trying to kill Ollie, and then turn to the source of the whole problem, that being Susan. I'm honestly surprised she is playing as big of a role this season as she is, but I do not think she will be seeing the season out to the end. I think she might meet her end, or maybe even go to jail. I don't know, they might do something where she goes to jail instead of dying, but yeah, I don't think Prometheus will end up being a fan of Susan in the next few episodes. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, it'd be very much appreciated if you could show your support on the video and the channel by just leaving a like on it. Let me know in the comments section down below. This is the most important thing. Did you agree with any of my choices? Do you have some disagreements? Or did I leave a character out completely that you think is a chance of dying this season? Leave all of them in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.